To all the non-believers, 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 non-believers. I'm making non-believers say, oh my.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Varsity, and welcome to episode 37 of NBA Talk Playoff Edition. Let's get right to it. The Celtics did what they had to do. They completed the sweep. They went into Indiana. They got the series over with, and they did what they had to do. Indiana, they tried to put up a fight. They tried to see if they could get this win, but at the end of the day, they were no match for the Boston Celtics already. It's like they gave in and they just said, you know what, we'll get ready for next year because it ain't worth going back to Boston and just straight out getting destroyed in Game 5. It's really not worth it. It's really not. Like, it was a good run, Indiana. Nick McMillan, whatever his name is, he could flat out coach because the fact that your best player went down with an injury and you still had a somewhat successful season, even though you still lost in the first round. I commend you. I really commend you for your coaching skills. But Boston just came out and just they got the job done. They say they don't want to extend this series. They don't want to make this any more than it is because Indiana did play them tough on defense. They kind of did. They, and they don't want to extend this series anymore. So they just said, let's go out, get the job done, and move on. They're going to the second round. They're going to be waiting for Milwaukee. The next matchup, Golden State, they're doing the same exact thing. But Golden State, they already got their eyes on Houston. They already got their eyes on Houston, so it's like they want to get this. They want to get this damn series with the Clippers done. Like they want to get this shit over with. Like Like Clay already said it in his post game interview. He said our opponent is up 3-0. We don't want to give them any more rest days. So he already knows that that Houston's up 3-0 and they don't want to give Houston any more time to rest. Because with James Harden and Chris Paul getting any rest, that's a bit of a problem if you're Golden State because Houston already gives you problems in the first place. So, but But yeah, Golden State came out. They balled out the Clippers. They didn't give up like they usually do. They grit, they grind, they play team ball. They don't bow down to the star power you have on your team. They came out and they just flat out played. They just flat out played. But Golden State once again showed their dominance and showing why they are the better team. Obviously, they're the number one seed. They Klay Thompson and KD carried carried the team. I wouldn't even say carry because they just they just put up buckets. That's all they had to do was put up buckets, and this game was done. The game was over. It's like what else do you want them to do? They're ready to move on to the second round. They're up 3-1. They're gonna blow them out in Game 5, and we're gonna get ready for Golden State and Houston. Now on to the next one is pretty much the same scenario. The Toronto Raptors and the Orlando Magic. Kawhi Leonard came and just straight out said, "I want to be done with this series too." He he came out and just straight balled. He just straight ball. He just straight balled out. He played defense like he's known to do. Made shots, even though some of them look ridiculous. But the Toronto Raptors, they did not give up the lead. They did not concede to the fact that Orlando was fighting back, and Orlando was just trying to make this a game again. But at the end of the day, the Toronto Raptors are the better team. They have the better roster, and they have the better player. And it really does come down to that from time to time. It really does come down to how deep your roster is and who has the best player in the series. But on to the last game, and I want to get my point straight. I got praise for one team, but then I'm gonna rant about the other, and I think I know who you know I'm talking about. The Portland Trailblazers, I'm gonna commend them credit for how they played last night. They came out and they flat out balled. They didn't care if the crowd was getting rowdy, they did complain to the ref a few times. I mean, let's not act like NBA players don't complain to the ref, but they came out, they played defense, they flat out shot the lights out of OKC. They made efficient shots, they made the right plays. Damian Lillard did his thing. CJ McCollum did his thing in that key play he made against Paul George, stealing that and just making that go ahead three on a fast break. That was the most savage thing I've seen from CJ McCollum. That was just straight savage. Zach Collins was a beast on the boards. Al-Farouq Aminu was a beast all throughout the game. What can I say about this Portland team? They are just straight fighting in these playoffs. And I'm looking at a completely different Portland team right now because they are just in OKC's grill. Like, they do not care who the hell they're playing against. Like, Damian Lillard just looks like a straight monster. Like what the hell? Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, I don't know what to say right now. Other than I'm happy that they're playing this way, because after the way they played in the Pelican series last year, it's like I didn't think they were ever going to move on from these two. But I'm glad they stuck with them, and look how they're playing. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to make the conference finals or the NBA finals like Charles Barkley's saying. Yeah, I ain't saying none of that they're going to make the NBA finals. I'm not going to go that far because, there's still some really good teams in the West that they got to go through. I feel like Portland is just a piece away because if Nurkic were in this series, I feel like they would be a very formidable foe in the playoffs. But even with everybody healthy and put together, I feel like they're just one player away from being a serious contender. Now, on the other side, I'm over here and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to defend Russell Westbrook because I feel like he's going to be the scapegoat of the entire conversation when it comes to this series. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to say it right now. Russell Westbrook has not been playing his best series as of right now. Damian Lillard is killing him, and he has not had some great games. He's had 2 bad games, but honestly, this comes down to coaching at one point. And I don't see why nobody's pointing the finger at Billy Donovan. Why on earth does this man not like to call plays? Why does he not know when to call timeout? Because he's seeing Portland go on these big runs, and then he does not call timeout. He's just leaving it to see if Paul George and Russell Westbrook can figure out a way to stop the run. It's like by the time they figure out how to get one stop, Portland's already scored like 10 straight points. Like, I just don't understand. This should be the series that Billy Donovan gets fired if they lose. Not if. At what point do we decide that they lose in Game 5 or Game 6? Or does OKC somehow come back from this series? Who knows? But this should be the series that determines Billy Donovan's job. This should be the series because it's unacceptable the way I've seen Billy Donovan coach, because he just lets his superstars decide what they do and how they decide the outcome of the game. It's just, no, I can't. But like I said, Russell Westbrook has not played his best game. Neither has Paul George. Paul George has not been playing well also. Like, this whole team in general has been up and down in this series. That Game 3 was probably the best game I've seen them play. That was probably the best game I've seen them play in that Game 3 and the first half of Game 2. And maybe even Game 1. But, that Game 4, come on, man. How do you get yourself get into foul trouble? Somebody get me a violin. Somebody get me a violin. It's the same thing every year. We get so hyped about the Thunder every single year. But then, come playoff time, it's what they turned into a stagnant offensive team, and then a lackadaisical defensive team. But then in the regular season, they're top 5 in defense, and they could even some days be one of the best offensive teams in the league. Like, I just don't understand. I really don't. I really, really don't. Like, I don't get it, guys. I really don't. But anyway, let's see how Game 5 goes. I hope the Thunder win Game 5. I'm hoping. I'm not saying they will. I'm hoping. But yeah, that's been the games from yesterday. We got the Bucks and the Pistons in a few hours. And then we got the Houston Rockets and the Utah Jazz. I'm saying right now, both those series are gonna end. You will get a video after those games. This video came late, and I'm sorry for the audio. My mic messed up, so if it seems a little jumpy, then there you go. This is your boy Jay Varsity, and I am out. Hit the bell, comment, and subscribe if you like basketball content. Peace.
We got some non-believers.